All right, all right. It's about time to get this party started. So let's flip over to the correct screen here. And yeah, so today we're going to be doing Drunk Admin Web Hacking Challenge number 1. It's the next one in the list on VulnHub. I skipped quite a few. Skipped quite a few other VMs because they look like kind of one-off, like one challenge per image. And I could have downloaded like 15. Yeah, these guys, these de-ice things. I could have downloaded like 15 of these and loaded them all up ISO at a time. But that sounded boring. So I just skipped to the next actual challenge. It looks like a multi-part challenge, which is kind of what we're here for, and went ahead and downloaded it. Unlike last time, it looks like it came in an actual VM format, so we're going to go ahead and load that up here. If I can remember how to do it in Workstation. Open probably. I keep, as always, my VMs on my game drive because performance. VM Workstation looks a little weird because I just got this sweet 4K monitor that I'm not streaming on, but VMware Workstation was on that monitor, and when it came over, it didn't readjust its size very well, but that's fine. So I copied it. I don't really think it needs VMware tools. Probably should have seen what network it's on first. It's on 0. Okay. We should move this guy to whatever network it's on for reasons. Last time, remember, we had a whole still night because it had a dynamic IP or a static IP address on a specific network. So we can just move it back over here. I think I remember, and we didn't look at it yet, but if I remember correctly, yeah, it just gets an IP address via DHCP. It even tells us what server what port the web server's on. It gives us the root password. That's awesome. But that's not what we're doing today. Today we are doing web application hacking. So I guess we'll see what kind of stuff we get into. So this is up. Good. Excellent. Let's go ahead and maximize this. Awesome. So first things first, let's get keep note up so we can take notes. Let's go into our boots root directory and we'll make dir, let's call it drunk admin. We can create a new notebook inside of that. Root, boots root, drunk admin. Cool. We'll call it drunk notes. Sweet. So as always, let's start out with trying to figure out where it is. Did this get updated? So I think that was our IP address last time. Oop. Oh, I'm probably still set to... Nope. Yeah, okay. So then we'll just net discover -r 192.168.1.0/24. Oh man, this is a bridge network. That's going to take forever. Oh, look. It's probably my PlayStation. Well, if we look at our prefix, is 000C, and we're 80. There's another 000C that's 89, which is likely us. So if you're not familiar with Mac vendor prefixes, the hardware address of a Ethernet interface generally speaks to who made it, as long as it's using its default one and not some generated one, because we're spoofing. So the 00C is used by VMware, so we can just look for other VMware MAC addresses, and it looks like there's only one. So we're going to assume this is it. And if we nmap port, set it 8080, right? Oh, 8880. 68.1.89. Just real quick, we'll see that it is open, so that's likely it, right? So we're not going to take their word for it. We'll start poking around at the website in a second, but we don't want to necessarily take anybody's word for what we should be hacking. We should discover that on our own. So let's go ahead and do our standard nmap scan. For those of you who are new to this or new to the stream, this is pretty much the thing I always run for boot to roots, just to get a full understanding of what's going on. This means to search all ports, so all 65535 ports, just in case they're hiding something on a non-standard port, which I think we ran into last time. This is the run all default scripts for ports services that are found, so just a little bit of enumeration to give us some extra context. Our target, and then this is output all formats, including greppable, XML, and standard, just in case we need to use them for other tools or write scripts around it or something later. And again, all in the name of documentation. That's something we're doing with this new series, is we're going to be documenting everything we do, which we should be doing for pen tests and CTFs and everything, to help us learn and also, provide value for our clients if it's a real pen test. So it's a good habit to get into. We won't be writing a full report, but we will be taking notes and, if I remember, screenshots and stuff. So all this drunk admin, and then it'll create suffixes. This is just the prefix for it. So we'll let that run. But as we were told, we already have the port number for the web server that we're going to be attacking. I don't need to update that. Next, start. So as always, we're using the free version of Burp, just so everybody can follow along. We won't use any professional features or anything. So we can let's create some folders here. We'll create a folder for just random notes, create a folder for services we find. Yeah, that's probably good enough for now until we get, we'll make one for scans. So the first service we have is HTTP, and we know that it's 2168.1.89.8880. And if you weren't here for the last one or haven't used KeepNote before, something that's really neat is not only do we get this hierarchical kind of file system, it's literally a file system if we look at it on the disk. Boot to root, and then drunk admin. And you'll see inside drunk notes, like these are the directories that we're creating and all that stuff. And then there's XML stuff that's keeping track of what's going on. But if we can put documents inside of directories, we can also add documents to like the children of other documents and stuff. So it's kind of neat. I like it. It's fun. It's useful. Cool. So let's start hacking. We'll do 89.8880. And we probably have intercept on Burp. Cool. So we can upload a file, which is going to be dangerous. I mean, that's probably how we're going to get our shell. There's a contact me. Security flaws are spotted around here. Oop. I wonder if they have something set up to where it'll actually receive email and then click on links or something. Might be worth checking out. maybe worth checking out at some point. But this is likely going to be our VulnHub attack. Let's go ahead and look at the history here and see if we see anything in the code. If we can get into LFI, we can take a look at this, but we probably won't need to. Generally what happens, and we'll walk through this, but generally what happens is, we'll try and upload like a shell, like a PHP shell or something, and then run it. And it'll say, oh no, we only allow images. And then what you can do is, find out what image types it allows, find what the prefix for those image files are. So for instance, if they're a JPEG or whatnot, then they'll have a specific 4-byte header at the very beginning of the file, and generally filtering just looks for those like first few bytes. So we might not even need to get that crazy. Let's take a look at info. Oh, sorry, not favorite. Here we go. So this directory name style here. Might be useful. Another thing that we can check out is see if it's got a robots.txt. That's interesting. You don't usually see a image in a .txt file. Oh, that's the 404. Okay, so let's check out style, see if it does it doesn't do directory listing. Okay, I want to put this stuff in our notes just for further reference later. Index.php, and then we've got our info.php. And then we'll make a note that there is no robots.txt. That might come out later. If you've done the Lord of the Root boot to root, or you watch my video on it, the 404 being an image was actually a big hint last time. It doesn't look like as much this time, but you never know. It's better to take more notes than not enough notes. So what else can we kind of look at here? How's our thing going? So SSH is running. We already knew that, and we know the root credentials because it told us. But other than that, we've got our web server that again we already knew about. So let's go ahead and add those. Probably should have just left this window open. So in the scans, we'll do nmap. Just drag that in there. I don't know what the hotkey for opening up a child directory is, but there we go. And then we'll do a nicto output to drunk admin.nicto. So nicto really cares about what your file format is, or your extension is for some reason. So we have to do the .txt on the end. Usually I would just put .nicto because vi and cat don't care. But and then we'll do a host 12168. And these are all just kind of scans that we can run against it in the background, just to see, just to get more information about the host. Nicto, can I do this, or do you need me to do dashport? I forget. Let's find out. It'll complain quickly. Nope, that works. Okay, again, just to get more information as we go, kind of while we poke at it manually, I want to see if there's anything that maybe we missed, that we're missing, just kind of poking around. So let's do like a PHP. Well, first of all, let's touch. Okay, this is already done, so we can take a look at it. That's a really long line. Okay. It causes false positives. It's obviously running PHP. /info. Is that just going to be the info PHP? Let's take a look. Yeah, it's just a text version of. That might be interesting to know, though. Uploaded images. So there's already a bunch of uploaded images. Okay, let's grab a random image. In fact, can we just save the paperclip? We can. Just save that there. Let's see if we can upload this. There's my cool image. It even tells us where it goes, right? Oh, and here's another page as well, which is good to know. All right, so let's take a look at this guy. So there's images, and then it just gives it a random string.png. Cool. Well, this might be pretty quick. Let's do MSF Venom payload. We're gonna do PHP. Let's see. Say one. What are we? 80, right? L ports 443. And a reminder, I've said this on previous streams, but a reminder, 443 and 80 and common ports like that are really good for boot to roots or, other penetration tests or whatever. If you're in a mass CTF like DEF CON or DC Darknet or Net Wars or anything where there's a lot of people attacking the same machines, I would stay away from these common ports because a lot of people are going to try them. And I've seen, not so much with reverse shells, but bind ports like get all messed up and stuff. So, and then we're just going to do this to totes legit.php. All right. And let's see if it'll let us upload that. Invalid file extension. Oh no. Okay, what about oh, you're naughty. So my guess is it'd be nice if we could see the code for this upload.php. But what I would guess is happening here. Oh, no way. That's cool. Okay. Wait. Why the hell would it do that? Interesting. We'll have to take a look at that later. Okay. So what it's probably doing on the back end is what I mentioned earlier, which is, it sees that it's a .jpg, and then it'll check like the first couple bytes in the file header, or in the file itself. So let's do in fact, we have a PNG right here, right? So we'll where is it? Paperclip. So if you see here, these are going to be the 8, 9, and then this is probably PNG, right? Would be my guess. Because there's a byte and then PNG. So if we just add these 8 bytes to the front, let's see if I remember how to do that. Maybe I need to do this. That's not going to work. Oh, okay. So yeah, if I just do that notation, then it works. Cool. So let's echo and E, and we want these 4 bytes, or these 8 bytes here. To our totally a JPEG.jpg. Or, yeah, and then we'll need to move totally a JPEG to totally a PNG, right? Because that's the file format that we used. So if we run file on totally a PNG, just thinks it's ASCII text. Okay, it does show the bytes there. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it's fooled. Okay, so it knows it's not an image, but it lets us upload it anyways. Or it can't display it because it's not an image, but it totally thinks we are. So if we fire up SF console, and now we could have done this with netcat, or, well, probably not netcat, but we could have done this with something other than a meterpreter shell, used netcat as the listener or whatnot, but meterpreter's fun and useful. So we'll use payload PHP interpreter. 80, right? That's us. Yeah. Okay. Just make sure that's us. Yeah, 80. Cool. So there's a show advanced. There is a oh, what am I doing? Set I'm sorry. Use exploit. We need to run a handler, not the actual payload itself. And then we're going to set the payload as PHP. Sorry, everyone, getting a little ahead of myself here. We'll see if it kept our options. It didn't. Set lhost 192.168.1.80 port 4.3. And then if we show advanced here, see this exit on session? We're going to set that to false. That way, you know, if we spin up multiple shells for some reason, or you know, it won't kill it when one dies. It'll just keep listening forever. And then to make it keep listening forever, we'll do this exploit and then -J, and that just turns it into a job. So now we're listening. Let's take a look at. So this is the PNG. So we can just, if we want, if we just curl 81.89, 80, and then whoop. One dot 9880. Oops. We're dumb. I'm dumb. You guys, you're not dumb. But so if you'll recall, when we did our echo and we echoed the bytes over, you see how there's only one thing there? It just wrote out, it just wrote these 4 bytes into the file and didn't actually copy any of it didn't keep the other stuff. And actually that wouldn't have worked anyways, because it would have just appended it to the bottom like this. That's what this double arrow does, is it appends rather than overwrites. So, man, I'm just batting 1,000 today. So if we cat the totes legit .php, append it to our totally a PNG. Now, if we cat totally a PNG, we have this initial byte here that'll tell it, oh no, I'm totally a PNG, but then we'll have our, you know, code in the background. So let's upload this again. Nope, not that one. Totally a PNG. Ah, So now we need to know how it's doing its filtering. What actually is causing this to happen? And I don't know if anybody's actually in the chat. I can't see. The chat just keeps spinning and spinning forever. I don't know why that's true. Let's see if I can reload maybe. There we are. Okay, I can see the chat now. I don't know if anybody was actually using it, but now I can pay attention to it. Cool. So the question is, let's do this again. But this is going to be actually PNG. And then we will echo PHP to actually a PNG. So we'll just add the word PHP and see if that. Yeah, so that's what I'm testing for, Benji, is to see if just the term PHP is what's causing it, or if more of it is going to trigger. We'll see. So it's not the term PHP. Hmm. So what happens if we do this? This is like a $sign get. Like maybe it's tripping on some of the other stuff here. Ah, now it doesn't like it. Hmm. I wonder if it's the parentheses, maybe? A double extension attack? Well, it seems like that might work. Yeah, that might bypass the extension problem. But it appears that it's looking specifically for parentheses. At least that's what I took out. And unless it's being way smarter than that, though, I'm not sure why it would. Okay. Is it looking for valid PHP? I mean, that's not valid PHP, but I'm just trying to do it one step at a time and see what it actually triggers on. I'm not actually a PHP programmer, or haven't in a very long time. So, no. Hmm. You know what? I wonder. So, if we remember, there's this JavaScript here. Is there something we can do with that? Actually, let's do. Can we actually just go to images? It's images, right? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I was hoping put was there. Set my PHP ID equals 102. Ooh, where did you see that? What is that? is that in it's in image.php? Yeah, all these go other places. Is this, can I LFI this? Let's do this. Let's do it this way. That was a good eye on that. I didn't see that at all. Yeah, that's super cute. Um, let's see. So Jeff McJunkin wrote a thing. Where there we go. First of all, we should take notes on this. So we've got my php.php. Okay, so we're gonna try this just to see if this works. So what I'm interested in is what is the name of this notepad? This is Keep Note. Uh, when you take the PWK, the penetration testing with Kali Linux, which is the course for the OSCP certification, it was recommended in that, and so I used it for that course and love this capability, this hierarchical capability. It's phenomenal for organizing notes. And note taking is something that I'm really bad at, so I'm trying to force myself to keep doing it even with boot to roots. So this is so to explain a little bit what I'm doing here. This is an article that Jeff McJunkin wrote just immediately before the last SANS Holiday Hack Fest or the SANS Holiday Hack Challenge. And if you haven't done any of the SANS Holiday Hack Challenges, you should do them. They're all up. They keep them up forever, and they're great little hacking puzzles. And there's prizes for best write-ups and stuff like that. Generally speaking, if somebody from SANS writes an article, right before the Holiday Hack Challenge comes out, it's likely has something to do with the Hack Challenge itself. What this is it's using what's the word I'm looking for? It's using these alternate streams that you can use, like PHP instead of like HTTP or whatever. And if you look, he goes into PHP interactive mode, looks at the types of strings that you can get, and I'm not sure why I need ROT13, but you can use base64. And so what this is essentially is using a built-in PHP functionality to exfiltrate code. So you can actually look at the PHP applications, or the PHP pages themselves, rather than the rendered page that your browser gets. So that's what this is doing. It's saying, okay, I want you to include, this is a local file include vulnerability, just like maybe what we have. I want to include this PHP functionality to convert everything to base64 so it doesn't get rendered by my browser. And I want to include the resource index or whatever we want, right? The reason I think this might work and I could just hit go and see if it works. But a lot of times when people set stuff like this up, especially when they're trying to be cute, is they're filtering on very specific things, which is a blacklist filter. And if it's a blacklist filter, then they might not have filtered for everything under the sun, and we might be able to squeeze by, which is why whitelist filtering is much stronger. Um, Given that this technique, or at least this article, is relatively new, I'm not sure how old the technique itself is, but this boot to root's pretty old. Maybe this will work. Maybe he didn't specifically filter for stuff like this. I'm totally going to get the same thing after all that preamble, though. Yeah. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Okay. Now what? We can try things like, well, oh. So is it really just anytime it's only 102? Yeah, anytime it's 102. What about not ID? Hmm. Hmm. Let's. This argument here, I don't think that's a. Um, I don't think that's an argument. I think that just takes us to the PHP info page. Yeah, if we just go. Yeah, it's just the PHP info page. Does it have? It's just got all the different authors. It doesn't have versions, which is unfortunate. What? What? Generally, like. Let's see, where's our other Nikto? Admin.nikto. So it's a good question. To be honest, I don't actually know how they work, but I've seen these. I see these all over the place. So that's one. This is a different one. Different assets. These are all just different assets, right? Yeah, it's usually indicative of misconfigured PHP pages. Like you shouldn't have these available. Unless they're specific ones, like if there's a PHP info .php or something like that, and if that's there, then there's some tricky shit you can do with that page specifically. But yeah, this is just like default PHP configurations is what I've seen in the past. That's not to say there's nothing to be done here. It's possible, but when he's filtering like this. And he doesn't even care, right? Let's see. Oop. Yeah, he doesn't give a shit what's in here. I wonder if he's got some whitelist or maybe if something's not found, maybe this is the 404 response. We could throw sequencer, or not sequencer, intruder at it. In the free version, intruder is like highly throttled, but we can give it a shot. Let's see what we can do with it. 1.89, it's 8880. Let's do this. Send to intruder. Close this guy. Position is this. We actually don't. We could fuzz this cookie. Let's keep one thing at a time right now. Oop. Let's just keep one variable at a time, especially the way it throttles us. So what Sniper does is it basically just enumerates a single position at a time, a single variable at a time, and the variables are denoted with this little symbol here. There are other things where, like, I'd have to look at the documentation again because the names aren't super intuitive, but like, for instance, I believe Pitchfork will take a series of inputs and try the same input across like all variables there. I don't know. See what we got in the word lists. Sure, Derby, why not? We'll just start. I don't think anything's going to come of this. I just, want to show this tool off a little bit. Yes, it'll be time throttled. So what's interesting in this set will be the things of different length, right? These are all the same length, which are probably the response. This is long. This is probably this is the authors that we saw earlier. And if you notice, the first couple went pretty quick. And then the way it works is like after every attempt, it increases the length before the next attempt is the way that intruder is throttled in free. So if you're doing anything more than, like 20, maybe 50, if you're really insistent, then it's not going to work very well for you. So what else can we throw at it? Let's take a look back through. I haven't taken a look at this yet. Not that I think there's anything in here. Just sometimes, for boot roots and CTS specifically, there's stuff hidden, like in comments or some nonsense. This is still weird. So I send this to repeater and kind of play with this a little bit more. So that's fine, but it doesn't send anything. But if we do that, then it's like See what in this it doesn't like. So it doesn't mind the word pass through. We already know it doesn't mind the parentheses about this. Hmm. Is that valid use of ID or pass through? It appears to be valid. Let's see. I wonder if that'll work. Because if that gets through, oh wait, no, because it renames the file, right? Oop. So, and then we move actually to PHP %00. And we look at the source. Yeah, it renames it. That's frustrating. Hmm. Hey, wait a minute. These are the same string? They are the same string. Hmm. Where was... Oh, snap. Oh, snap. What was the... Was it images, right? Man, if this works, this is going to be so dumb. It didn't work. Mm. I thought that was totally going to work. Did I do it right? Let's see. I don't need the null string in here for this to work. Ah. For those of you who don't know what this was supposed to do, what we were trying to do here, we were trying to do something similar to what was mentioned by Benji earlier, doing a double extension attack, but the .php.png wouldn't have worked. But this null string, this null termination string here, could have possibly tricked the server into thinking that there was nothing after this. Basically saying, like, doing a similar thing to adding a comment to the end of SQL injection or something like that. But clearly it didn't work. Man, I totally thought I had something there. It's got to be something with this upload, though. That, and then the fact that I set this cookie. I wonder. If we just did this. Oh, let's send this to repeater. I'll make sure I'm doing echo right, because I'm an idiot. Oh, told you. Told you I was dumb. Okay. And then I wonder if this will just trick it for us. Yeah, we don't even have to have those bytes in there. I was way overthinking this. So it's trusting the browser to tell it what the content type and everything is. So if we get this, wait. Oh, it gave us the same. Yeah, it's just giving us the same. I wonder if this is a hash or. No. Hmm. Okay. This has got to be it, though. Well, there's the text. So the text is getting through. Hmm. Hmm. Buddy of mine are doing I mean, obviously not right now, but doing Diablo 3 seasonal hardcore. He just passed a tier 13. Shit's terrifying. I don't know if anybody else plays, but that's hellish. We're poking at the right thing. I'm just trying to figure out how it works and how we can break it. So we can, oops. Let's turn on intercept. Oops. We totally turned on intercept. I remember that. And then hello world should work, right? So what was with all the blocking earlier? It's like you're being naughty and stuff. Um, oh yeah, the yeah, it's 100% custom. It's but we don't want to search for POC code anyways, right? Like we don't want to. I mean, I hesitate to call it cheating because by our definition, we try and cheat all the time. But um, you know what? You're right. It might be weirdly cached because we're getting the. I think that's the same thing over and over again. So either it's hashing it. Well, it could be hashing it to see if it already has it, but it would be a different hash. Hmm. Let's do this. And then we'll. Oh, and I'm doing the wrong syntax again. Man, I wish I could stream in 4K because I could have like everything all up on this at the same time and not have to move shit around. Yeah, that's fine. And then we will not a PNG. Forward, forward. There's my cool image. So now that's weird. Why is it stuck like that? It's freaking out, man. Oh, intercept. Thank you. Oh man, I always forget that's on. And that's still not doing what I'm expecting it to do. No, wait a second. Because this says the image can't. Says the image can't be displayed. But when we look at the response here, it shows the text in it. What if we... Oh, yeah, I see. But why would it though? I didn't see that doesn't make sense. I would understand if it was .png, um, but in here, oh, content location is repointing to the PNG. Okay. Oh, and content type. Got it. Hmm. Yeah, I was looking up here. I didn't see content type all the way at the bottom. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea. Is it like my PHP? Ah, why? So, oh, I thought that worked. What is happening here? Yeah, but that didn't. That just came up as you're being naughty again. So if we go back to oh yeah, bah, no. So that's some sort of something in PHP. Maybe there's a SQL backend. I'm not sure how that ID is working. Is it the stone? Now, where'd burp go? Did this actually work? So Benji was right, like way, way, way back. And what? Okay. So it was just looking for PNG. Um, it's just looking for PNG in the name. That's a terrible filter. We were way overthinking this, like way overthinking this. So um, now we can. Okay. So if we move, or let's copy totes to totes legit dot png. Why? Wait, what just happened? So I used what Benji posted earlier, which was, what if we just do a double string attack or a double extension attack, which is doing .png .php at the end. The filter for the upload was only looking for the fact that, and cancel this, was only looking for the fact that PNG was in the file name, not that it ended in the file name. Which actually was a pretty misleading error message, though I guess I could see how a developer would have done that. Because the error message said you're looking for, or it said invalid extension. It wasn't looking for an extension at all. It was just making sure that PNG was in the file name, or an extension. It was looking for .png, but it wasn't making sure that .png was at the end of the string of the file name. So let's take a look at what happened in burp. So when we get this, the content type is text HTML because it's no longer looking for, oh man, it's not even looking for a .png. It didn't even rename it to .png. Whoa, this web app sucks. So yeah, we way, way, way overthought that. Like whoa. This web app is actually like really bad. Cool. So let's upload the totes legit shell. Do we still have our listener running? We do still have our listener running. Totes legit .png .php. Nope, the other way. The other way. I almost just messed that up, and we were going to go down a long hole of going, why doesn't that work? I don't know why it doesn't work. There we go. Okay, so it still does have filtering in there. All right, well, yeah. So can we do... Actually, let's just leave that up because we're going to be doing some iteration here. Don't need to bookmark this. You don't have to echo pass through, do you? Maybe you have to echo pass through. Ah. I did it again. And in fact, honestly, we probably could do this a little easier through burp, but let's just see if this works before we get too hung up on that. several of these. I really like this page because it kind of gives, there's a chart here that somebody made. Very nice of them. Wait, where'd it go? Here it is. Okay. So pass through is supposed to echo something. So let's try exec. Ooh. Is this actually, is this a problem of being cached again? Yeah, it's the same. We're just getting the same ID over and over again. Can we? Actually, maybe it's because I keep hitting back. Ah! Outstanding. Outstanding. So our listener is going to go from this to, we're going to do an NC NLP 443. And we're going to copy attempt 1 to shell.png.php. And see, we're going to exec bin bash. Let's do 2.168.1.80 on 443 e bin bash. Ah! See if there's other ways we can bypass, like if it's not just get. Oh, there's a request thing itself. That's not what I meant, but associative array that by default contains the contents of get, post, and cookie. Well, that's handy to know. Jesus. Because I just always use that. Let's see if that works. Because it didn't like get earlier. It's possible that it just doesn't like any of these, but we'll see. Because we did independently. We did exec independently. We did echo independently. The $sign, the CMD, CMD. We did the brackets. So we did get. Let's see if request works. Let's see if this just freaking. Okay, good. We got a different. Yeah, we got a different ID here. Okay, is this gonna work? There we go. Now, let's see if it lets us. 6.8. Send this to repeater. We can do all this in burp. Okay, I'm a big fan of Repeater, by the way, as long as you can easily get stuff into it. Since it was doing this weird redirect, it was a little less straightforward to do it through burp, but now that we're not worrying about a redirect, we're just iterating on these commands, it should be all right. So, and this is important, maybe we should talk about this for just a second. When you are writing stuff, blacklisting is bad. It's better than not doing anything at all, but it's generally not very good. Because as you can see, there are multiple ways to do anything, and um, you're never going to guess everything, right? There's always going to be something extra. This requests instead of get. There's always another way to do something. Various types of character encoding is another common way to bypass stuff. So if you're writing a web app or you're working with a development team, then make sure you impress upon the development team or impress upon yourself that you want to validate that you're getting what you're expecting. You're not validating you're not getting what you don't want, if that makes sense. Whitelist over blacklist any day of the week. Anyways, so now that we're there, we can, we should be able to do our NC now. Unless like the server itself is checking everything. I don't know. But I doubt it. 192.168. What are we, 1.80, right? And then 443, and we're going to E bin bash. The minus E is just execute something, a command. Well, why the heck didn't... Oh. Oh no, that's right. Encoding. Yeah, it might not have the E, which would suck, but there are also ways around that, which is nice. Wait a minute. S minus E. Are they different? Or wait, I'm confused. See if C works. If this doesn't work, then we can go into some other ways. There's ways to like pipe shells into bin bash or pipe shells into netcat and all these other things. So even if this C doesn't work, we can start researching ways to execute. In fact, Ed Scotus has an amazing article about what happens if you don't have minus E for netcat. That doesn't appear to have worked either. Oops. Yeah. Okay, we're listening and stuff. So fine. Yeah, fine. Okay, so let's take a look at that article then. That'd be good reading, anyways. So, netcat without minus E, no problem. But what if you don't have E? that's a great question. So we can use a named pipe. But we're not in a shell, which we're not. Is it mad because of the spaces? Should we URL encode this? Let's URL encode this real quick. By the way, I love the site ASCII to hex. You know, all of those different translations that you have to do, it does pretty much all of them, which is nice. Oops, the other way. Burp also has an encoder decoder functionality, which is pretty handy to use, but it doesn't have as much as this does. So, are we still listening? Yeah, we're still listening. Ooh, that might have worked. Oh wait, maybe not. No, it took a minute to come back. Yeah, it took a minute to come back, but it came back in the end. That's unfortunate. Fine. Let's see if we can get this to work. Maybe. This is going to be 12168 1.80 on 443. Excellent. Hmm. Port 80 connection refused. Now see, that's interesting. Hmm. Why are you being dumb? Stop being dumb. So we can do ID works. You know what we could also do? We could also probably just wget our interpreter shell and go on that way. Well, that can't be right. What? What? We might have dicked ourselves here. So in the past, I've used shell exec or pass through. I wonder if exec is giving us something weird. Like, because if you noticed, we only got where'd burp go? We only got the last line. What I'm assuming is the last line of Etsy password. So I wonder if the output is messing with us. Can get output only last line though. That's weird. Are we getting blocked? What about this JavaScript? What JavaScript? Oh, the thing that we saw way back. Is it this guy? No. This guy? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Try it locally with request. I think we're just getting hung up here on something. Can we wget? Because if we can, maybe we just need to do that. Yeah, the connect back shell, at least the interpreter one, got flagged for reasons. Oh, I wonder. Oh man, I can't even begin to think what in here is. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking, right? Is we're just going to wget, but obviously, and you pointed out something that wouldn't have worked. At least it triggered something in my head that made me realize it wouldn't work. I think that's it. Yeah, I guess I could try and do a bind, but it looks like -E and -C weren't working. Um, so excuse you? Oh, that's the Python 3 syntax. There we go. And this will just be a wget 80. What do I call it? Linux shell. Is the shell not there anymore? Shell's still there. Can I not? What is wget -O? Let's log all. Let's hit -W? Nope. What is the damn output? Capital O. Okay. So okay. Now that, why isn't it working from curl? All right. Wait, and it's blank. Ugh, I didn't get any connections here. I wonder. Oh man. Is this thing filtering? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh man. Uh, wow. What a pain in the ass. That's so fucking dumb. And I called it earlier too, didn't I? I said I'm like, man, I bet it's filtering, and then just didn't even test it. Crap. Okay, cool. Well, that's nice. Let's get us a reasonable shell here. That's so bad. Okay, cool. And we're dub, yeah. Oh, we never even looked at HT access, huh? Nothing really useful. What's XMM HTML? Is that just the oh, that's probably just the uh, it's just the 404 page. Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, cool. We're in. Does the let's take a look at that web page go. Final goal: reveal the hidden message for a date arranged that Bob sent to Alice. Okay, so we need to find something in Bob and Alice. Well, there's a Bob directory. Oh, what? I know this isn't just base 64, but it probably decodes to some sort of binary. Oh, AES, yeah. Hmm. So is there a second page maybe? Like on a different, well, it wouldn't be on a different port. Oop, there's no B. Four, 4, 4, 6, 4. Yeah, getting there. So because the reasoning behind this idea is that anything that I'm looking for is going to be in Bob's home directory, right? It's going to be linking to Bob's home directory. Of course, I committed the gravest of sins. Oh yeah, the gravest of sins. Um, I was under the impression, obviously the mistaken impression, that you didn't need a star with when you were recursive. Maybe you do. Yeah. There was this really rad thing that magic upgrade bash shell NC, I think. Yeah. This, if you haven't seen this blog, this is the best stuff ever. But we can actually get a fully functioning bash shell with tab complete and all that crap pretty easily. So if we echo term, oh wait, I have to control Z out of that. Then echo term. And then we actually, let's do this in a different. Because we're gonna have to do some stuff on the back end. stty minus a, and then we'll sty raw minus echo, which I believe that will prevent us from control C'ing out of everything when we go back in. Oh. Okay, and then can we? Yeah, so tab complete's working again. Sweet, cool. And then if we, do something stupid like grep foo, then I can control C out of it, and it doesn't drop us out of our netcat, which is amazing. Seriously, if you haven't seen this before and you're not cheering right now, you're dead inside. Because it's the best. So let's go back to Apache 2. Oops. CD etc Apache 2. There we go. And then we're going to grep ir Bob. Yeah, let's get that URL. No, just read it really fast, everyone. Just read it. Go. 1, 2, 3, go. Start transposing it. Here. It's in chat. And I'll try and remember to paste all the articles that we used into the description when I export this over to YouTube as well. So and then we're gonna hit star this time. Nothing. Okay, that was a long roundabout for nothing. Let's cat that. This is all just going to be a bunch of BS that we don't really care about. Oh, let's do some more. There's some post-exploitation stuff that we haven't done yet. So we have Etsy password. There's in here. Oh man, tab complete, so nice. We've got Bob index here. There's a cat encrypt. See, everybody's supposed to be helping me here. Remember to take notes. I haven't taken notes in forever. We didn't document how we got access. We didn't do anything. I rely on you people because my memory is terrible. This is the Bob encrypt.php. The problem is this is the less sexy stuff, right? This is not nearly as fun, but it's so important. So we need to move our shell over here, right? What was the thing we actually upload? Yeah, yeah. Do live pen tests on streams. I'm sure clients would love that. I read it was the Linux shell, or no? What was the? That's an easy way to find out. And this is 36AB. This one. What? Come on. You didn't find it anywhere? That's the one. So we want to move that shell.png PHP over. And we'll just make a note here how we got our CE. And then we should also take maybe not a screenshot, but we can like kind of decodify that, so just for clarity later. And then we should absolutely, it's too late for that, but notes, just so that I always remember, upgrade and C shell. And then we should make a note here that previous attempts to obtain reverse netcat by outgoing port filtering. Okay, cool. Now we've got some notes. We've got some artifacts starting to populate as we find more stuff. Let's see what else is there anything else here? So, oh, wait. Oh, sorry, not cat. Or not CD, cat proof. Oh, was this it? Great work, meet me there. So that's got to be the encrypt thing. So we're not done, but this is this is probably done, stage one, right? So we'll do a new artifact and we'll call it .proof. And we'll just put the directory there. Or actually, we'll just name this var www.proof. Is there a cat? Let's see. Release. There's not. Okay, so we're in Debian 6, so we might have some so what's likely going to happen, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock. We've been streaming for, oh my god, 2 hours. So likely what's going to happen is the encrypt decrypt functionality found in Bob's home directory is going to probably be like that quote unquote final flag. But I mean, we're not done until we get root, right? So I'm I'm just gathering some information for later when we, maybe there's a cheap Debian exploit that we can use. I don't think anything that old is going to be vulnerable to Dirty Cow, but I'm sure there are other kernel vulnerabilities that we can use. So, anyways, so let's go back to Bob. It's just Bob, so there's no other like passwords to crack or anything. Okay, so he doesn't have anything funky set up. Stop that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm responding to the download and run comment. I'm just trying to get an idea of what it's doing. So uh, we post password in the PW field. Um, we post the plain text. Plain text. We post the cipher. Wait. I assume PT is plain text? I mean, so we don't even need to, if we just move, or let's copy recursively everything over to var dub dub dub. We'll kill, that'll kill index. So we'll copy index to index 2. Blah, of course. And we probably actually don't have write capabilities here, do we? Oh, we do to images. Yeah, we don't to dub dub dub. Okay, so we'll just move everything. Oops. So we'll copy minus R, everything to var dub 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 images. Yeah. '89 0 images. Uh, hmm. Okay, so what this does is it takes in SC and then posts what I assume is decrypt. So if SC is set and decrypt is set, which basically means we put something in there and hit reveal my secret, then it runs a decryption using this cipher. So SC needs to be the key. Where the hell do we find that? I mean, I guess we could do something really silly and like brute force it, but that seems bad. That seems like not the way this should be solved, right? I just want to make sure that I'm keeping all the stuff that we used. Okay. Mm. Hmm. What is the find for owner? I think it's dash owner dash user or something like that. Dash group. I want group dash user. That's right. Bob. That's not right. Var mail Bob. That might be useful. Let's get the so the backup shadow file doesn't have weak permissions, which sometimes it does. That's unfortunate. Okay, so files owned by Bob, they're not many, and we already looked at them. What about, we didn't actually look at, nope, okay, he didn't hide it there. He is part of a shit ton of groups, though. CD-ROM, floppy, audio, dip. Never heard of that one before. Maybe I'll start with that one. Okay. Can we, I wonder if I can give a series? Or is it going to say all? Like, is this... Okay. Floopy. So basically what I'm trying to do is like maybe he pug dev. That's a very specific type of dev. I was trying to see if maybe he had some files hidden somewhere. Ugh. Sorry, my friend's chatting with me again. Okay, sorry. Focus. Focus. So there's got to be a. Is this guy? We did try this, right? Okay, we did try that. Is this possible? Oh yeah, we could have done that. Oh, see, this is base 64. Ah, for a kinky night. Oh my goodness. No. Man, he was drunk when he wrote the site. Okay, so so if we do some notes, sweet. So let's do some notes. This note is going to be secret is base 64. And that's the base 64 that it decodes into. Where was that? Proof. And we could, let's just give it some kind of output. So if we do, there we go. That's better. That way we actually have, you know, like an output saying, okay, like here is proof that we did a thing rather than just putting two strings into a page. And then we can take a screenshot because screenshots are good. Or can we curl it? Ooh, can we curl it? So if we do curl, just because, you know, again, I like having command output as proof. So we do curl x post. I always mess this up, man. Curl. We're almost there, folks. X request type. And there's a, I think it's -s data. Okay, so I think the -s data will imply -x post. So we'll give that a shot. So we'll do let's take a look at the index. So we'll post sc equals blah and decrypt equals Oh, do we need to do a? Let's take a look at what burp says. Could have just copied that. If you're not familiar with this, let's find this. Okay, so that's what it looks like. You can actually right-click on anything in burp, and then go to copy as curl command. But it copies like literally everything, right? Which we don't actually need all that. So if we do curl data, and then we just do sc equals, and then our passphrase, and then decrypt equals reveal my secret. 168.1 89 8880 images index.php. Is that gonna work? Didn't like that. Why didn't you like that? Do I have to do the X post? No? I mean, that's like identical and stuff. Why don't you work? Why are you being a butt? To this, right? No, that's right. 8880. Right? Yeah, that's right. No. What? Oh, yeah. Let's just copy his curl command, see if it works this way. Okay, well, what the frick? Do I need to do dated binary? That's the things that are different. Well, this works as proof. Yeah, it could be a content type. Maybe it's looking for a refer, a few different things, but we have proof here. Now all that's left is to see where this is. Yeah, thanks for coming, Murmus. You were a lot of help. I think we're wrapping this up. I'm just going to see where the GPS coordinates are. I don't think there's anything else to this CTF, so you know, that's it. But yeah, thanks for coming. It was a lot of fun. Oh man, I don't. What's the syntax for GPS coordinates in? There we go. This is in Russia? Nope. Outside of Greece. I guess those were Greek letters. Man, I am uneducated. Wow. So, uh, how do we even pronounce that? Or like, what's here? Uh, what's here? Thanks for zooming me all the way out again. Meeting in a mosque. Interesting. Cool. That's where they're gonna meet. Alice and Bob. I think that's it. I think we cleared everything, so we can. I guess the only like the last thing to do, and I don't usually do this in my streams, but once again, this is another habit that I need to get into. Is let's look at the vulnerability that let us get in here. So let's upload. Not less. By the way, this problem here is actually fixed. We didn't do everything in this article. So if you go down further, it actually has you change your rows and columns to exactly match what you were in before, like what our actual like local terminal is, and then that should fix all of like the less stuff for us. And you could do tmux or whatever the hell you want. So once you do that, I didn't bother, but you can. So let's check out this upload.php. And see, here's this blacklist that I was talking about earlier. This is exactly where, I'm glad it was at the bottom and we didn't have to scroll too much. This is exactly where it's saying you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. And this one here is why my interpreter wasn't working. This is why we couldn't do the NC directly in the pass through or get. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and grab all this. Let's see. Get that in the artifacts. There we go. So, we're only going to get blocked from doing things that are specifically on here, which obviously was not enough to get us. Get post, great stuff. But then we looked up alternatives to get and post, and we found requests, which isn't blacklisted. Let's see if we can find the. Yeah, see, it's just looking for. This is funny too. This is why we were able to do that double. Oh yeah, I haven't done root yet. That's a good point. Sorry. We will do that next. Here is the thing that let us actually. This is the whole thing here. This is what let us upload that double extension attack in the first place. Where, if you're not familiar with how regex works, this is saying the beginning of the line. That denotes the beginning of the line, and then any single character, that's what a dot means. And then the asterisk is any repeat of the previous character, any number of that. So a star dot is similar to the same thing as an asterisk that we see everywhere else. It just literally means any number of any character. And then it looks for a period. Specifically, it escapes the period so that it's not saying any character. It's saying I actually mean a period. And then it says any of these, BMP, JPEG, GIF, PNG, other JPEG, saying any one of these can be in there. And then another dot star, and then the end of the line, right? So that's saying... Oh, right. The root password is in the description. I know it's not an objective, but it's typically, the next thing to do. We'll see. I'll make a quick pass, like a 15-minute or so, see if I can find some kernel exploit or something. But I don't expect there to be much else. so yeah, the asterisk here. This is basically saying $sign denotes the end of the line. So it's saying find me a file. This is a pretty standard regex match for a file, right? Any file name and then dot and then one of these image extensions. But having this there is what gets us. This is what allows us to do the .php at the end of it. So we're going to go ahead and just copy this here. Oop. And we'll do, oops. Actually, that's a good idea. Let's have a separate area for vulnerabilities. I'll put the blacklist filtering vulnerability there, and then we'll also put in the extension bypass vulnerability. We'll just copy that in there too. Explain star at the end. And then specific oh. Okay, cool. Fulfilling our documentation promises. So let's move on to, yeah, we were going to try and get root because, you know, what fun is getting a shell if we can't get root, even though they told us the password. We're going to take a look at the kernel version and the Debian version, and we will search exploit. So for those of you who don't know, you have a copy of the exploit database inside of Kali. And there's scripts to keep it up to date and all that stuff, but you can access it with search exploit, which is much, much, much easier than going to exploit DB and then having to type in a captcha or whatever things they make us do these days. It's also much faster, right? Let's do squeeze, and then you do this. And then you wait for a second, and then you got to do this crap, and then search, and it's just a pain in the ass. So we'll just do this. Nothing. Yeah, fucking captchas. Freaking captchas. I'm not sure if this is an all ages stream or not. I think I have it set to mature content. I don't remember. I try not to cuss too much, but it slips a lot. So we're in Debian 6, Debian 2, Debian 2, Debian 3, 4, 2. Here's a 6. Which kernel version are we on? 26325. That's the one we're on. I'm not sure what this is, but we'll take a look at that. Debian 8.9, 2 new. Okay, let's take a look at this because we can't see the full description here. So all of the exploits are contained in this path. So we'll just go ahead and cat, and then the one that we wanted was this guy. See what this is actually doing. Oh, determines the password length of a local user who runs SU. Well, that's certainly helpful, but not helpful here because, you know. So what is it actually doing? Keystroke. Oh, it's a keystroke timing attack. Interesting. Huh. I'll have to read up on this later. This looks super interesting. We'll also take a look at any kernel attacks. Just that one? Come on. Oh, Privesc. Look at that. That could be useful. Oh, it needs to be less than this, and probably. This needs to be CentOS. Ubuntu's close enough that it might work. Let's take a look. Oh, it needs set UID binaries. Yeah, it needs set UID binaries. And there probably are some. Oh, like password. Duh. Hmm. I wonder if this is going to be if we're too new for this. work. But anyways, we'll try this one, and if it doesn't work, then we'll probably sign off because it's almost 3 hours. Let's see. It was this guy. 80, 90, 90. Okay, how does this work? Remember, kids, never run exploits that you don't fully understand. Ha ha. Okay. Oop. So what is it actually doing? So it has 2 while loops for reasons. Sleeps for a random amount of time, less than a second. So it's looking for sleep. What's the should have had like a CVE associated, or at least in the thing. When you write exploits, please document them, right? So it's probably just the same BS. Would result in denial of service. Well, that's good to know. See, and this is why you don't use exploits that you don't know what they do. Especially like if you try to use this in like a live fire exercise and you weren't sure if it was gonna execute correctly, that'd be bad, right? Oh my god! And definitely don't use something like this. Yes, do not run exploits blindly. Yeah, something like this would be terrifying. It just starts like firing off Priv-esque stuff. It's just crashing boxes everywhere. Yeah, yeah. Since we're in a boot to root, it doesn't matter as much. I've ran like Dirty Cow and stuff in the past on boot to root. stuff. This is saying that it works on all 2.6. And it's C, so we totally trust it more, right? That makes a lot more sense. Let's yellow it. Action refuse. How dare you? Ah, God, no. Stop that. What? Oh, man, that was bad. You in here? 3332. 22. Yeah, you're in here. Why did you say you weren't? Oh, because it's not a .py. Cool. And this, my friends, is where the machine crashes. Cool. Hmm. So wait, did it seg fault or? Yeah, I don't think that worked. Yeah, you're like, oh, segmentation fault. I love you. I want you to work. Um, but yeah. Anyways, we're just about at the 3 hour mark. We achieved everything that we wanted to achieve for the boot root in question. And we didn't get root, but we have the root password because of, let's call it, terrible OpEx or OPSEC. But it wasn't really, they wanted us to have it. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming. It was a rather, I mean, for my streams, it was a rather large crowd today, which was great. And I enjoyed conversing with everyone, and we'll see you next week. I'll tweet when I get the video put over, so or on YouTube. So, anyways, until next week. Thanks, everyone.